Muchachos y muchachas, as we sit here comfortably, many young ladies are traveling to Reno, Nevada to compete for the crown for Miss USA. I don't know about you, but growing up, I've always marveled over these pageants, watching them with my family on actual TV networks, back when I actually used to watch TV many moons ago. No, but really, the arduous process each one of these ladies go through is something unseen, and I'm sure is very grueling, with pressures financially, mentally, spiritually, and probably physically as well. But did you ever think that the crown could be tarnished? Lo and behold, there might be a scandal. I have received information from Miss USA whistleblowers, which makes some pretty serious allegations about the sexual misconduct, in part by at least one leadership position. They provided screenshots and a background of some of the internal politics that do tell a story. Stay right there. We're going to go through it. And speaking of beauty, I'd like to take a moment to thank the sponsor of this video, 𝘜𝘴𝘦 with 𝘊𝘴𝐿𝐿. This is actually Ageless Glow by BioTrust. This is a wonderful beauty anti-aging serum that I have been using for the past year and a half. I'd say even almost 2 years now. I use this in my skin routine as well as right before my makeup, and it does wonders with reaffirming my skin, rejuvenating my skin, as well as combating aging such as fine lines. It's really, really great. You guys can get it at 𝑔lowwithnatalie.com. Miss USA is an American beauty pageant that has been held annually since 1952 to select the entrants from the United States in the Miss Universe pageant. The Miss Universe organization operated both pageants as well as Miss Teen USA until 2020, when the organization announced it was licensing operation of the Miss USA and Miss Teen USA pageants to Krystal Stewart, Miss USA for 2008. We'll talk about this in just a bit. The pageant was owned by Donald Trump from 1996 to 2015 and was previously broadcast on NBC. In September of 2015, WME/IMG purchased the pageant from Trump. In 2020, for the first time, the FYI network broadcast the competition. By the way, WME/IMG or IMG/WME is now known as IMG/Endeavor. So we're just going to jump right in because there is a lot we have to uncover and question here. First, I had to understand the organization as a whole, at least in high level. And I feel you do too, in order to understand the gravity of leadership and how these allegations may have been undetected under the power dynamics. The organization is owned by IMG/Endeavor. Miss Universe organization is under them. And from Miss Universe, we have Miss USA and Miss Teen USA, which is branded and owned by Krystal Stewart and her husband, Max Sebrix, through the entity, the Miss Brand Corp. Paula Shugart is the named president of Miss Universe. Krystal Stewart is the president of the Miss USA brand, both Miss USA and Miss Teen USA, and her husband, Max Sebrix, was the VP up until recently. Right now, there is no known VP at the moment, at least to my knowledge, at least. So I think this is worth mentioning now that we have a high-level understanding of how the organization is structured out and how it's parented under other organizations. So the internals that I have been talking to, they find it curious by their own observation of how Krystal even was granted licensing in the first place. And, you know, their observations tell me that this has never been done before, and it kind of just got announced abruptly without any pre-announcing or any, you know, notice to any internal industry professionals at the organization throughout Miss Universe or Miss USA. So I thought that this would be worth mentioning, and I'm going to even play a clip of Krystal herself talking to Houston Life, you know, addressing that she is the first person to ever be granted these rights.
Well, and to be the first African-American woman to be in this role, 68 years, that's the history of this organization. Especially considering, Crystal, what has been going on in our world over the past year, these conversations that we've been having about race and inequality, and so many issues that we thought were buried long ago that are alive and well now. It seems like you are perfectly poised to influence a lot of people's lives.
You know, I'm not taking this situation lightly, Derek. And, you know, I am the first African-American woman to have this position and the first person, period. So they've never licensed out the Miss USA pageant. IMG and Miss Universe had always been the owners of the Miss USA and Teen USA pageant. So now me taking over, especially with everything going on with the...
Okay, so you heard it verbatim from her herself that this had never been done in history. And what I find curious also in this Good Morning America article, which was an exclusive that they conducted with Crystal, was the fact that it mentioned that Paula Sugar, the Miss Universe president, mentions that they had considered her role for over a year, and finally they, you know, pulled the trigger on it. And it makes, you know, I guess the internals that I've been talking to curious, because this opportunity was never talked about or, you know, announced or provided an opportunity for anybody in the organization at all. So it remains a mystery how all of this came to be. And let me just make note that just because it's a business deal does not make it nefarious or criminal. It's just plain curious. So now that we have an understanding of how their organization is internally structured, let's get into the allegations. I was forwarded in an email by a whistleblower sent to many IMG/Endeavor contacts and internals. The sender goes by an anonymous alias, but the content of the message is very intricate and illustrative. For the sake of keeping the individuals protected, I will be redacting names and faces in screenshots shared with you. So just to remind you, the majority of recipients in this email are IMG Endeavor contacts. Also, as a disclaimer, much of these allegations are supplied with context, including screenshots of alleged conversations had by said alleged victims and Max Seabricks. Until alleged victims come forward to voices for themselves, we have to make consideration that this could all be hearsay and maybe fabricated. To my personal opinion, the said captures of screenshots of conversations by email and social media look to be unaltered. That's just my personal opinion, and they seem to be authentic. However, I could be completely wrong. Max Seabricks, as far as my knowledge, is under no criminal investigation and has not been charged with any criminal charges. All said individuals are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. If any alleged victims are watching this video right now and you have been sexually assaulted by any individual, including or not including people named in the allegations, I encourage you to file a police report with your local law enforcement agency. Please take proper actions within the process of the justice system to proposition your assault case. Where warranted, I will be adding the word allegedly or alleged to buffer these accusations. After some points are made with the first few paragraphs in the email, I will be paraphrasing the rest. Let's start with the contents of the email. To whom it may concern, I am writing anonymously to report alleged S-word harassment and the knowledge of an alleged S-word predator in your company and the cover-up to protect him and his wife and colleagues. I am writing on behalf of numerous employees, contestants, parents, and directors of organizations under IMG/Endeavor. IMG/Endeavor are the owners of the Miss Universe organization, who in turn own the Miss USA and Miss Teen USA pageants, which were licensed to Miss Brand Corp, owned and operated by Crystal Stewart and Max Seabricks and Michael Hanna. The numerous alleged cases of S-word harassment and the predatory behavior, which I will be attaching to this email of Max Seabricks, were brought to the attention of the president of the Miss Universe org after Miss USA last year, Paula Sugar. Directors and contestants spoke with her, providing evidence of the misconduct, providing DMs and firsthand altercations. Miss contestants and teens. Allegedly, many were told not to repeat their experiences and also advised to delete the S-word explicit text by this married man and the owner and president of Miss USA and Miss Teen USA and founder of the Miss Academy. And here are some of the alleged exchanges mentioned in the email statement, just to give you guys an idea and prime the rest of this video. So this first DM seems to be from Max Seabricks, who is, again, the co-owner, the husband of Crystal Stewart, who is the president of the Miss USA, Miss Teen USA organization. And also I'm just going to go by corporate data, what seems to be a director for the Miss Brand Corp, as well as the Miss Academy. Okay, so Max Seabricks, in which this DM allegedly says, and it looks to be from Instagram, "Hello, redacted. It was so nice to have you. Well done, Missy. So proud of you. When are y'all leaving?" In which the receiver replies, "Thank you so much. I'm still at the River Spirit," which, by the way, River Spirit is a casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the 2021 Miss USA pageant was held. So again, I'm still at the River Spirit. I was supposed to leave this morning, but I am thinking about staying one extra day to take my time packing and leave tomorrow. Are you already back in Houston? And then he replies, "PH, awesome. You deserve a rest. I need to wrap up with production, so am staying the day too. Am having the presidential suite for myself." And then a bunch of emojis. "Finally relaxing. Everyone already left this morning as they need to prep to leave to Israel tomorrow." And then the exchanges continue. The receiver replies, "Ah, so jealous. Since you're still here, do you want to have lunch?" In which he replies, "Meeting River Spirit over lunch, but come see the views upstairs if you have a minute. It's spectacular." Okay, so let's just kind of recap what this is. If these DMs, if these screenshots of DMs are real and they are authentic, then this scenario would play out that Max really wanted this recipient of the DMs to go up to his presidential suite to view the views, allegedly, by what I'm assuming from this DM. Then the receiver replies, "I'm still packing and figuring out travel arrangements. Let me know when you're free and we'll connect then." And then he replies, "Oh, of course, I'll be down in a bit, running around to get things closed out. Would be lovely to at least give you a hug before you leave, Missy." And then the receiver replies, "For sure, when do you leave?" And then there is what seems to be a picture of a gift basket. And the DMs continue, and it seems to be preceded by an Amazon gift card or gift receipt. And it says, "A gift for you." And it says, "This is left for you in the lounge area on the 3rd floor. You want to pick it up?" And then the receiver responds, "Also sweet. Yes, I'm off site, but I'll be back in 15. And then the DM continues by him as a reply, "So good to see you, Missy." I'm going to just maybe assume that maybe they met up or something, or said goodbye. But I don't know that for sure. I'm just going to insert this for thought because I was re-looking at this as I was editing. And what seems to be that maybe the recipient did not respond or didn't set plans in place concretely, in which it may have been that Max then tried to prompt the recipient to come see him in person by saying that she, left her basket, finding something insignificant in order to meet up with her. So I'm just going to insert that for perspective. Just, as I was editing, I thought, that probably was so. And she went to go get her basket. "So good to see you, Missy. Great to personally connect with you and looking great. I'll find you a good guy in Houston. Redacted person met redacted person through mutual friends. So you never know. Hope you have another great relaxing day at the hotel. Hit the spa." The receiver then replies, "Thanks for reminding me about the spa. Already forgot. I'll let you and Crystal know when I'm down in Houston. Get home safe and enjoy Israel. Oh, and don't forget to have the social media team do a shout out for my award and for redacted person's award, in which he replies, you bet, you'll love the spa. You'll feel like a new woman. Take 60 minutes deep tissue massage. The next set of screenshots are from an alleged email exchange with Max and what seems to be another contestant, in which it reads, hey, redacted name. It is in a very tough industry indeed, in which I'm going to assume that this was from a continued conversation, but that's just by my assumption. It is in a very tough industry indeed. I've been doing it for more than 20 years now, but the key is to either travel all the time for the various markets or have a job on the side to keep you really rolling. That way you can make higher demands on budgets and you can't be more picky as well. I do HK back and Roth, even drub 6 to 8 weeks. I'm not even sure what that means, guys, to be honest with you. Now for fairs, meetings, etc. with the company I consult with, I love traveling, so that's good. I was under the impression that you looked at me as if you were going to eat me up like a Godiva chocolate ice cream. And I was terribly attracted to your looks, of course. Those tights you were wearing looked awfully sexy on your tight body. Mr. Right will come, but it's always hard to maintain a relationship. Whoever is around you know. There will be down times and there will be exciting times. It's all about finding the right balance between a healthy personal life and hobbies and your shared life with someone else. There's great sides to it, like financial stability, overcoming personal challenges, etc. But then there's boredom at times and various concessions to make. Freedom decreases, etc. Lots to think about. It continues. I'm at the office right now. I'll send you a pic tonight. Unless I run to the restroom, the thought of imagining you in those tights without, we're just going to call them chonies, has quite an effect on me. And the receiver of this email replies, well, that escalated quickly. LOL. Honestly, Max, I'm flattered. You're a very attractive and successful man. But what about your marriage? I have much respect for Crystal, and I wouldn't want to interfere with that. And this is the reply from Max. Allegedly, hi, redacted. I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything in disrespect of that. On the contrary, I love my wife more than anything. I assume that when you looked at me seductively, you were okay to overlook the fact that I was married. I am sorry if I misinterpreted your intentions. I also suppose you were not looking for a flirt or any intimate chat with no strings attached. On both sides in our case. Where are you now? Los Angeles? And then this is just the next screenshot. I don't have the previous reply to Max, but it seems to be that Max is replying back, which says, hey, redacted. Okay, I was worried. I would have never thought it would be my thing, but you definitely got me there with your penetrating eyes. I've always wanted to at least tell you that I felt deeply attracted to you despite of my personal situation. I hope you understand. Maybe we could try STH. I'm not sure what that means, to be honest with you, but deaf with no strings attached. Tell me what you're thinking about when you think of me. And of course, this is all between us, okay? That crazy weather is insane. My gosh, what's happening with the world climate? Please stay safe. Yes, I do live in Texas and I will travel quite a lot with this year for work. Yes, much work ahead. Jumping in the shower here. So I'm just going to make note that we don't know if this is Max for sure, because the email just says Max. You know, there's no unique identifier to the email that is shown within these screenshots. So I just want to make that disclaimer that that cannot be verified. However, what you guys see at the very bottom is what seems to be a photo attachment of what seems to be Max Seabricks. So that could be an identifier with this email. But once again, this is something that I can't say for sure is, you know, from Max Seabricks himself. But I just wanted to make that disclaimer. But there is a photo at the end of this email. So in this email with all the other attachments was also this video file along with them. And dare I say that I regret clicking this video file because I was not expecting to see what I saw. And Obviously, I can't put it on this platform. It is way too explicit. Even the audio can't even be stripped to exhibit for you guys. But what I can say is that the name that is said by this man, which, by the way, the accent seems to match with that of Max Sebrix. If you go, look him up on YouTube or any videos or interviews, you'll notice an accent. It seems similar to the man speaking on this video, in which he mentions the redacted person's name in that email thread, or just, yes, that email exchange between him and the redacted contestant. So just some added leverage to the advancements that allegedly this guy is making on contestants. Now, I'm going to just put this out there that all of this seems to be an open secret internally within the Miss USA organization, and no pun intended, Miss USA universe, you know what I mean? There seems to be some chatter on social media groups in which I'm just going to share one of them, where it says, since this is seems to be a thread in which people are, responding to each other. It says, since Crystal Stewart already owns Miss USA and Teen USA, is it possible she would buy it? I think she's probably could get money from Tyler Perry, and which, by the way, it's alleged that Crystal Stewart is friends with Tyler Perry. She did work with him on some projects. So just for your info, for you to know. Or maybe he would buy it and she would run it, in which someone replies and tags the first person. She's on her way out. She won't own the pageant much longer. In which the original poster then says, really? I did not hear that. And then the person responds again and tags the original person. Yeah, her husband sent unsolicited D pictures to contestants, and the organization has been extremely quiet about it. Okay, so this apparently has gotten around within the organization. Now, there were other texts or DMs and exchanges in which, keep in mind that these are Miss USA contestants that are submitting these screenshots as proof to the aggregator of the email, in which went by an anonymous alias. But the fact that the contestants felt compelled to aggregate their proof and submit it, I think this speaks volumes that, Max is in much frequency outreaching to various contestants via DM. And to me, in itself, in my personal opinion, it seems inappropriate, being that he is a married man and a professional in the industry. Continued with the email. It alleges that the organizational legal counsel, along with the president of Miss Universe, Paula Shugart, were made aware of these allegations and nothing was ever done. Also mentioned was that Endeavor, the organizational ownership, told directors that they did a full investigation with no outcome to be made known to directors or leadership. The email alleges that, and I'm going based off of assumption due to context of the email, that Max Sebrix stepped down due to the ongoing insinuations of his said actions, but still he is operational with many partnerships, vendors, and endorsements. This is a statement shared to me by one of the internals, where it mentions Max stepping down very abruptly. Dear 2021 Miss USA state title holders, I hope your year 2022 is off to a great start. I would like to make you aware of structural change within the Miss USA organization. Max Sebrix will no longer serve as a Miss USA organization vice president and will be focusing his efforts on other business ventures. The Miss USA organization is gearing up for the 2022 pageant year, and we are thrilled about some exciting plans for a reunion for our class of 2021. More details to come soon. Sincerely, Crystal Stewart, President, Miss USA Organization. The email continues and mentions the continued conflicts of interest, such as the Miss Academies, which is likened to a sort of pageantry modeling school that seems to align its curriculum towards better training for aspiring contestants wanting to enter the Miss USA pageant. The email alleges that the Miss USA state directors were being pressured to install these academies in their respective state franchises. So just some FYI, when I mentioned state franchises, I personally didn't know this about Miss USA organization, but they do operate by state as a sort of franchise. And with that being said, I think what's being alleged is that the leadership from Miss USA organization pressured the state franchise owners, directors to install these Miss Academy schools in their state. Again, I'm going based off of assumption. I'm not going to say that that is a fact, but that's just what I am drawing from all of this. Continuing on with this, what I find intriguing is the next part of the email where it mentions the internal leadership and board of said academy. It says, let's also note Paula Shughart is a board member of this Miss Academy. And y'all know me, I love to look at boards, board of directors. Lo and behold, I went to Miss Academy website and I left the timestamp at the top right of my screen for transparency to overview the founders and board. To my surprise, Max and Paula were not featured on the current day website. So Natalie the Sleuth went to the archived version, which, by the way, there are multiple versions of this website captured, and finding one in late 2021, this is what I found. See, that's curious, right? Like, you'll see here that I went through all the archive captures for 2021 with the same result. Max Sebrix featured as a founder along with his wife, Crystal Stewart. Paula Shughart and Michael Hanna featured on the board. Why would they make a sudden change? You see, because even their corporate data shows that both Crystal Stewart and Max Sebrix are still listed as directors. So look, it could be that they made a recent change that would have removed Max as a director / chief exec. They very well could have done that. And look, I could be looking at outdated information here, and I want to disclose that as well. Although, make it known that the email overviewed was sent in June, and I'm looking at all of this information here in September. I'm curious to know if IMG Endeavor, the ownership of Miss Universe organization, has ever made any real and efforted investigations into this, as the allegations are definitely egregious and problematic for the entire Miss Universe organization, if they are true. See, this is something else that's really curious. Endeavor themselves, just Endeavor, the entity, before they were acquired by IMG, have been within the orbit scandal of sexual misconduct. Formerly known as WME, William Morris Endeavor Entertainment, they found themselves in a hot seat when actor Terry Crews accused Hollywood agent and co-founder of WME, Adam Bennett, of sexually assaulting him by grabbing his no-no parts at an industry party. Terry Crews first exposed this in a thread on Twitter, which alleges other unfair practices by big-time industry players, and warned his readers of his Twitter following to look closely if anything were to happen to him. Ultimately, Adam Bennett sent an apology letter to Terry and was to resign. Terry Crews eventually settled his lawsuit over the groping incident with WME, but I feel like there's a lot more to the Terry Crews incident that I think I'll make a separate video about. I don't think the things he revealed got as much as attention as it should have. By the way, if you guys love the dress that I am wearing, you guys can get it at redingboutique.com. I'm going to link the direct link in my description below. Use code Natalie30 for money off. So friends, that is the allegation tea on Miss Universe, Miss USA. Like I said, all individuals are innocent until proven guilty in the court of law. I think, in my opinion, if these screenshots are indeed authentic, it tells a much deeper story that goes in tandem with the explosive email. And I hope that the Miss Universe / Miss USA organization take this seriously and at least speak to the public about these allegations. I think at least the alleged victims deserve at least that much. If you are a victim or an internal worker that would like a safe place to come out about this matter, you can send me an email at nataliedenise.info@gmail.com. I will keep you anonymous, and if that is what you choose, but more so, I highly encourage you to file a documented police report with your local law enforcement to properly enter any process of justice. Guys, let me know what you think about this. I had no idea that the pageantry world was, well, I kind of had an idea, like an ignorant idea of how cutthroat it is, but I didn't know that much into, the misconduct of leadership or anything like that. And it surprises me that if something this big is happening currently, then why nobody has ever addressed it within the Miss USA organization. Once again, they are gearing up for another season of, Miss USA pageantry. The contest is coming up. And, I think that they very well as an organization should address this. And, definitely if the victims are feeling intimidated, they should actually speak up about it, because there could be more to this than we know. So anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.